Going back to LAFC, they of course has set the record for most goals, 85, Vela with 34. Tactically, how were you guys able to shut them down so comprehensively?
Oh, that's just it. I think we frustrated their weapons that, as much as we could. You know, I think we weren't afraid to challenge their high press. You know, I think they put their cards all in on offense, and like I said before the game, at times that leaves them a bit exposed on the other side. So you can't just sit back and hope you're going to absorb that the whole 90 plus. I think you have to really go and exploit or try to at least attack that vulnerability that they have with that. And at the same time, yeah, defensively, I think just really not have them and have a game that they're enjoying. I think Vela got frustrated throughout the game. Rossi was also quite quiet throughout the night. And when you see Vela start receiving the ball 30-ish away from goal and trying to find plays out there, that's great. You know, it's further away from the goal than he probably would like, and obviously less dangerous for us. So that was a sign of their frustration and testament to how well we were defending as a team. I loved seeing also, you know, the defense from our strikers, for example. I think Raul put a tremendous amount of pressure, back pressure on players coming in with the ball, that it didn't allow them to pick up their head and play clean balls into those dangerous guys. And all those little details really accumulated to an amazing game. I thought it was the best game of our year so far, obviously at the right time. Need to really harness that one more time for another big game next week.
Yeah, next week you're going to have the place sold out, over 69,000, most of which 68 plus are going to be Sounder fans. What would it be like to have that many people in your corner here coming up next Sunday?
Amazing. You know, I think we've said it before. In moments where things get tough, to have that crowd behind you is a boost. You know, I think looking back at the Dallas game where we're up, was a 2-0, and they claw back, and it's a very frustrating game. It's one where you can easily let your head drop and sulk, but I think we really felt the energy of our crowd there, and that helped us really go through. So obviously we would prefer it not to go into a situation like that where they need to dig us out, but I'm hoping that energy feeds us right from the get-go, and we can have a hot start and really impose our style and dictate the play. And I mean, it's a huge opportunity, right? One that even if you have it in your own hands, it's very, very difficult to fulfill it and to have that home field advantage in the final. So for us to be the first ones to do it, this squad, the first ones to do it, and have a chance to win the trophy at home is an amazing opportunity. We still have to do it. We went down to LA and won. Toronto went to Atlanta and won. They deserve a lot of respect, so we're giving them respect, and we want to prepare for the game and be ready for it.
In Best Cups 16 and 17, you had pretty remarkable performances. The great moment there in 16, and still a great game there in 17. What's it about MLS Cups that brings out the best in your game and makes you have those amazing performances?
I don't know. I wish I had a list that I can check off of this game to ensure that I have a good game, but this is not how it goes. You know, I think with experience, you learn how to really handle butterflies, and obviously the bigger the occasion, the more the butterflies really are an integral part of how you deal with those, and they're starting already now. You know, how do you deal with the emotions that are coming up, the possible outcomes? How do you feel about those? What does that mean? All those questions have to be answered before the game starts. If you haven't answered those questions in your head and dealt with those emotions, you're going to be in trouble. So I think I've been able to really take care of those emotions well. Does that turn into a given great performance? No. Mistakes happen all the time. I make mistakes in every game. You hope that they're minor mistakes or a mistake that one of my teammates can iron out, but such is the nature of the sports. Someone makes mistakes, always a possibility, but I try to give it the utmost respect I can and prepare as much as I can and slow it down and do the best I can.
When Toronto was here in April, you guys faced Josie Altidore, he of course being a big question mark for MLS Cup, but overall with this Toronto team coming in, what worries you about their attack and what they bring to the table Sunday?
Well, they switched a few things around towards the end of their season, the false nine, and who knows if he'll be back. I mean, we'll be prepared for either or. Obviously, we know what he brings to the table. He's a force to be reckoned with. Brings him a different layer. But if not, obviously they're more than capable as well. Right? Going to Atlanta again, it's no fluke. That was similarly well done to the way we did it in LA, and we have to really analyze how they did it. I mean, Pozuelo obviously is the guy that pulls the strings for them, and they have a couple guys that run around them and work hard and are more than capable of taking care of plays as well. You know, someone who's in his career hasn't really been famous for scoring goals, and Nick De Leon comes out with worldies right now. So his confidence must be high. It's something that we have to be aware of. Yeah, they're a good side. They deserve a lot of respect, and we're going to make sure we give it to them. But we want to be ready and focus on our squad at the same time.
You mentioned earlier in the playoffs that part of being a veteran is realizing that opportunities to compete for trophies can be rare. What's it like to be competing in your third MLS Cup and to be hosting this one?
Honestly, I after losing in 2017, I was really bummed out because I wasn't sure whether I was ever going to get another chance to get another star. So for us to have another opportunity so soon after is. I couldn't believe it. I mean, when we won in LA, I was just so excited once it sank in that it didn't really matter where we were going to play, but the fact that we were going to play for another star is a huge opportunity. I mean, there's players who have terrific careers, amazing careers, and never have a chance to win a championship. And so that says a lot about, you know, all the things that are really not in the hand of an individual player. There's so much that needs to happen around for this moment to occur, for you to be in this situation and have this opportunity. So, and on top of that now, for us to be able to do it at home, possibly, it's an opportunity. I really want us to realize that without being afraid of that moment at the same time, right? And again, that's I think talking about those butterflies. You know, I think you should realize that this is bigger than just another final. This is the first final at home. But can you really wrestle with those emotions, appreciate the opportunity, but not let it get in your head or psych yourself out or whatnot. Just acknowledge it, treat it with respect, and be ready for the occasion.
3 of the last 4, it's been you guys, you and Toronto, and then knowing that if Toronto had won against Atlanta, were you thinking at any point like, okay, I'm rooting for these guys, but really we're going to play these guys again?
Like I said, I mean, after LA. That was a huge performance on our part, and for us to overcome that hurdle was immense. So just seeing that, we had overcome that, which I think undoubtedly was. They won Supporter Shield. They were the best squad in the league throughout the year. So that was a really good confidence booster just going into the final. I think for us thinking we'll go to Atlanta, we'll go there. We'll go there with confidence. We'll have a chance, and we just went to LA. If Toronto wins, we'll play at home. We'll go into that confidence. We'll play at home, and we have that confidence from that last game. So, obviously, we all watched the game. We're rooting for Toronto. At this point, you don't care who you play against. You care about the things that are actually viable advantages, and I think a home field advantage. I think. As it has been disproven by the last 2 games, but I think that is a clear advantage, and we have to make it count.
Several of the guys on this team played in the final in 16 and 17. How beneficial is that going into this game?
I think it's good to have a mix. I think it's good to have people who will want a sense of revenge, will remember how it felt. Will remember the pictures, the images that are still engraved in your brain. But then at the same time, I think it's also good to have people who weren't there in 16 or in 17, because it gives them an opportunity to really write themselves into the history of this franchise, right? Because we talk a lot about 16, we talk about 17 as an opportunity. This is an opportunity to talk about 19 and for years to come. So I'm happy that this opportunity is presented to the guys that are new to the squad, because I think these are moments that when you're done playing and when you're dead, these are the moments that last. So do you sense that this is one of those moments, and can you deal with those butterflies, and can you really go out there and take a hold of the opportunity and put yourself in the history books?
About you've obviously been in a couple of MLS Cups. How is the preparation going to differ between being on the road for MLS Cup week as opposed to now being at home, as far as some of the off the field stuff that you may be dealing with?
It depends. I think we're actually going through that right now as a squad to try to figure out what's best for the squad. I mean, the wind up to it, you're training at home, you're in your comfort zone, you're at home with your family. You're not worried about traveling. You're not worried about some uncertainties. I can cook my own meal. I can walk my dogs. Those are all things that kind of put you at ease because they're comforts, right? They're things you do a million times throughout the year. And so when you're, again, sorry, but I keep going back to it, but talking about those butterflies, when you can surround yourself with moments that you have done a million times, you can kind of convince yourself that you've been there and done that, and that puts things at ease. And so when you're in that kind of comfort zone, I think that really helps with the nerves and figuring out how you're going to deal with the occasion.
One big thing might come up this week as they talk about the goalkeepers is who has the better beard. So you got Quentin there, kind of looks like Bryce Harper.
It's
and
a great
you got
beard.
yours. I mean, what do you think? I mean,
It's a great
is that
beard.
beard respect?
Yeah, I mean, as a goalkeepers
I think you got a better
union,
one.
part of the goalkeepers union, I like that beard. It's good. He can have the better beard if he wants. I'll take the win.